can just hear it in your voice. So thank you for listening to that voice of calling, even when you didn't have the language for it all those years ago when you had this opportunity to step into a corporate position that really was not the right fit for you. So
well,
thank you.
I'm very grateful to you and to your listeners for listening. This is my life's work. This is what I am here to do, and I'm happy to talk to anyone about it at any time because it brings me joy.
Well, thank you. I would love to have you back as a guest if you'd like to do that and really talk to us in more detail about the 10 archetypes and just really explain that more. I'm sure our listeners would benefit and be thrilled to listen to you more. So thank you.
I'd be delighted to do that because there's a lot of depth there. So let's make a date and we'll do it again.
All right, we'll do that. Thanks, Alaina.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Gloria.
Great. Wonderful pearls of wisdom. Thanks again to Alaina Love for being my guest. Now be sure to listen to last week's show if you missed it to hear more from Alaina. Last week, she talked about the importance of discovering your passion and purpose in the workplace. Now, I want to share something with you from someone near and dear to my heart, and her name is Lee. She also happens to be my assistant. And she says, "Hi, Gloria. I check into your show periodically when you have guests." She says, "I just listened to Alaina. Wow." Wow, she's so articulate. Lee says, "I wrote down this passage from your interview. When someone's really excited about what they're doing, they're working and thinking about their work during the times you're not paying them to do it." Now, remember when Alaina said that? Now, Lee is saying, in my experience, that's so true. And you're right. In my experience with you, now this is Lee talking again, in my experience with you, Gloria, when we worked together, you were leading in the ways Alaina talks about. You encouraged us to bring our whole self to work. And that was so revolutionary for me. Now, Lee is my current assistant, and in another lifetime ago, she was also my assistant in an organization. And so that's what she's talking about. Lee says, in our check-ins and year-end evaluations, you continually encourage development. And as Alaina said, there's the paycheck, and then there's fulfillment. Lee, I just want to thank you for allowing me to share what you wrote to me in that email. Thank you. And again, my hat's off to Alaina for her incredible heart for her work, her passion, and the rigor that she brings to it as a research scientist and as a champion for bringing our whole selves to our relationships at home and at work. If you'd like to learn more about Alaina's work, you can reach out to her on Twitter. Her Twitter name is @@workwithpassion. @workwithpassion. And you can reach out to her on Facebook at facebook.com/thepurposelink/. That's facebook.com/thepurposelink, all smushed together, /. Now, you can also access the resources and tools that Alaina offers at one of these websites, thepurposelink.com, or at mypassionality.com. Now, I'm going to spell that last one. It's MyPassion, as in passion, ALITY, mypassionality.com. Okay? All right. Now, if you missed any part of this week's broadcast about passion and purpose, where we delved into the question, what am I here for, you can listen to the podcast right here on Talk Network Radio, or you can catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Alexa, and many, many other places. Before I close today's show, I just want to give a shout-out to all of the dads out there. Now, I dedicated this show to my own father. Why? Because our dads make such a big difference in our lives, don't they? I know my dad made a huge difference in my life, and he still does. You know, he passed away almost 30 years ago, but he's always present for me. And it's actually amazing how much impact we have as leaders in our own home, with our own children, with our own family. So dads and moms, I'm going to say this once again, even if it seems like your kids are not paying any attention to you at all, let me tell you something, they are. They are. They're listening. They're soaking it in. And more than anything else, they are watching you. That's right. They're watching you. Now, let me be really clear. They are scoping you out because, they observe everything you do and say. And most importantly, they're watching you to see if what you say and what you actually do line up, right? Now, our actions really do speak much, much louder than our words, don't they? A good friend of mine, who's a former CEO, always says, as a parent, as a leader, in any context, at work, at home, in your team, in your neighborhood, doesn't matter, okay? In any context, your walk has got to talk louder than your talk talks. Your walk talks louder than your talk talks. I love that. Now, why is that? Because that's how we build bridges with one another. And in particular, that's how we build the bridge called trust. That's how we strengthen our bond with those we love, with those we care for. That's how we deepen our relationships, one step at a time, inch by inch, mile by mile, conversation by conversation, decision by decision, text by text, smile by smile, at home, at work, and in any other areas of our life. Every single day, 365, 24/7. So ask yourself, how is my walk lining up with my talk? You know what? It's never too late to line up your walk and your talk, to get your act together so you can take it on the road, right? Because when you make a difference in someone else's life, you make a difference that only you can make. There's certain people out there who can only hear your particular voice. I might say essentially the same thing as you, but they can't hear me, right? But they can certainly hear you. And remember this, how you live is how you do everything else. Relationships, friendships, doesn't matter. How you live is how you lead in your personal life, in your community, in your neighborhood, with your kids, with your family, and with your teams at work. Now, if you happen to miss any part of this week's broadcast, or if you missed last week's show, you can listen to a podcast anytime at your convenience. You can even listen to it on the go. That's what I like to do. Check us out at www.talknetworkradio.com/legacyliving.html. That's LEGACYLIVING.html. Legacy doesn't happen at the end of our life. Legacy doesn't happen somewhere in the distant future. It happens every single day, day by day, 365, 24/7. Now, I want to thank you for tuning into today's show, and I want to thank everyone for allowing me to share a bit of my journey with you about what legacy living is all about. Not just living and learning and serving so that you make a difference in your own life and in the lives of others. It's about being on purpose, about being intentional every single day. 365, 24/7. Legacy living is one of the many ways to make your life count. Once again, I want to thank you for joining me for today's show. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Burgess, and this has been Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. Please join me again next week right here on Talk Network Radio for another show of Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. We're here again right here, Talk Network Radio. Don't just count the days in your life. Don't just count the days in your life. Make the days in your life count. That's what legacy living is all about. Hey, have a fantastic day. And remember, make the days in your life count. God bless you. That's our show today. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Burgess. I hope you'll join me again next week. Until then, don't just count the days in your life. Make the days in your life count. That's what legacy living is all about. Here's to you. Have a fantastic day. Be sure to make it a yes kind of day. And remember, celebrate. Celebrate the music of your life. Make the days in your life count.